Right, before I get into any reviewy stuff, for the 10 people who might actually care, the reason I haven't uploaded in like 2 months is due in part to laziness, but mostly due to a huge account hiccup. I signed out of my point of view account and into a different account so I could watch a flagged video. I know, what circle of hell could this sin place me in? But long story short, trying to sign back into the point of view account resulted in a huge facepalm when I realised I couldn't remember the password I used, and then a double facepalm when I forgot the email address for this account's password too. Yeah, I know, I should have wrote it down somewhere or tried to pay more than 2 seconds attention when making the account, but oh well. Through a bit of luck and a minor brainwave, I managed to get back into the email, and therefore back into the YouTube account, and believe me, that was the short story. Okay, so now that I've scared off any viewers with low attention spans, which actually, on reflection, given the game I'm doing right now, that probably was a smart. Ah well, LittleBigPlanet 2. Okay, so I realised going into this that I'm extremely late with this game, but whatever, it's the most recent game I've bought and Dragon Age 2 doesn't come out for a few more days. So instead of doing a full-fledged review of this game this late after release, I've decided to instead talk about some of the things LittleBigPlanet does right. And I also realised that this is pretty much what I've been doing with every game up to this point, but what the hell. One of the main things LittleBigPlanet 2 does right, much like Saints Row 2, is customization. If you're the creative type, you can create your own character, your own spaceship, your own levels, your own monsters, robots, and pretty much anything you can imagine. And if you're not the creative type, well, you can put stickers on everything and make it look pretty, which is fine too, because the game wants you to be as creative as you are. Story levels suck? No worries, just play one of the 90 bazillion levels made by other players to pass the time. Everyone's level sucks? Just make your own. Unable to make your own? Well, then you probably shouldn't be playing video games without arms then, should you? For those of you who aren't me and didn't understand that, what I mean is that the level editor in LittleBigPlanet 2 is so simple and yet so robust that a 6-year-old could use it and make top-notch levels. Probably because it was designed with 6-year-olds in mind. Another thing LittleBigPlanet 2 does right, just like its predecessor, is accessibility. After importing my save, and by the way, huge points to Media Molecule for the whole import everything from LittleBigPlanet 1 thing. That shit's amazing. Like seriously, watching my little sack person who I'd long forgotten about drop out of the first checkpoint was heartwarming. Him and his ridiculous top hat. Where was I? Oh yeah, so after importing my save, I immediately jumped right back into the controls, because to get from A to B, or even A to Z in LittleBigPlanet effectively, you only need 2 buttons. 2 buttons and an analog stick, of course. That isn't to say the game's other buttons aren't used, but for the core gameplay part, you need to run, jump, and grab. Which isn't to say that the game is easy. Well, I mean, it is easy, but that's not the point. Remember, 6-year-olds. But it means you spend less time learning the controls and more time making Sackboy dance, which, incidentally, is the first thing me and I imagine a lot of other people did when they were back at the helm of Sackboy after a few years. The last point I'm going to make, and this is more advice. Do you have 3 friends who live in a reachable distance from your house? Does one of you have a PS3? If so, and one of you doesn't already own LittleBigPlanet 2, or hell, even LittleBigPlanet 1, go get all your buddies together, rent LittleBigPlanet 2, regroup at the PS3 owner's house, and play the game on 4-player co-op. Seriously, do it. Go play some of the online levels together. Build a hot air balloon and stick grappling hooks on it. I don't care. Just trust me. Play 4-player co-op. It's amazingly, awesomely, cataclysmically fucking fun. I'm Jack, and that's my point of view. Wasn't enough. I'm like, fuck you and